Hello, everybody. How you doing? How's everybody doing? It's been a while, eh? Who's in the chat? How's everybody up to? What's everybody up to? Thank you for showing up. It's a miracle y'all showed up. Man, let me tell you, do not, if any of you want to start a YouTube channel, do not use Chat GTP. Do not. Because, yeah. While I have been very confused, as y'all know, about what to do, thanks, Kitty, with true crime, because the tarot part is just challenging and limiting as far as channel growth, as far as topics I can discuss, as far as feeling responsible. Changing the channel name, that was Chat GTP's idea. So anyways, we are sticking with Motive.Means.Opportunity, MMO, and I'm not doing any tarot for now. What I think I'm going to do is move the tarot to the members only. I hope that's okay for everybody. I just, truthfully being honest, I don't feel like I'm getting good readings. Thank you, Marie Curie. I don't think I'm getting great readings right now. I don't know what's going on, so I don't trust it at the moment. I don't know if I'm too stressed. I don't know if Sebastian was messing around with me. He's not here at this new apartment, by the way, not shown up. And I went and stayed for a couple days back at the other place. I literally, when I said this was the move from HELL, I'm not done moving. Okay. Literally. So I'm going back tomorrow to get more furniture out, more stuff we have to sell, give away. And I was back there last week, and Sebastian, it was nothing that was going on before was there. So the energy that was there was left, but at this, so I don't know if it was Sebastian. I haven't really thought about it. I just don't know. Hello, Karen Danielle. I'm tired a little bit, honey, but otherwise I'm good. I'm just, truthfully, Joanne Marie, hey, sweetie. Truthfully, I've just been a lot lost as to what to do with the true crime, because I don't feel good about looking for children, having things that I feel very strongly about in my visions, and then not being able to do anything about it. It's horrible. It's a really crappy feeling. So anyways, so I'm not sure. I think I'm going to move. Moving is always stressful, dear. Yeah, I know. But outside of the move, just, I did a little nod off to Karen Reed yesterday. I know most of you are not interested in Karen Reed, but I mean, her and attorney Melanie Little inspired me, I guess, from a different viewpoint to speak about justice in different ways, rather than being responsible to try to solve a crime or help police find a crime, which is extremely infuriating when you're not taken seriously. At least with the Find Me group, when I submit cases, I know family members and police are looking for answers, right? And so Melanie is amazing. Yeah, I love her. Anyways, I mean, the Karen Reed movement is such different energy than the true crime sort of niche corner. Welcome, Nadine. Nice to see you. Welcome in. Nice to have you. So anyways, if you want, for now, I think I'll do, let me know what you think about that, if that would work for you, for people that are in the members. I don't mind doing some polls on that, but I'm not going to ever go back to the place where, welcome into the mods, by the way, Kitty and Donna, Whispering Winds. Thank you, ladies, for being here. I just need a little bit of a break from the stress of that, because it's a lot of burden. It's a big burden, I feel. I don't know how other psychic mediums feel or work, but I feel the pressure, I feel this pressure. So I want to come and talk about awareness in cases and speak my truth. I want to open it up to doing trial coverage, like I've said before. Yes, everybody, please do the likes. There's 17 here. Hey, Joyful. Nice to see you. I love you too, Chris. It just feels, yeah, I don't know. Something within me is changing, and I'm probably trying to figure it out before it's actually truly evolved. Do you ever have that? Has anybody ever had that? Look at my hair. Anybody ever had that, or a time in your life where you're like, something substantial is about to change in your life? Thank you, Joyful. So, I mean, I know my guys are telling me, right, right, right. And I'm like, I want to talk true crime. So I'm not going to give that up. I don't care what the guidance is. If I'm meant to write, we'll do that in addition to this. So I'm just, yeah, I don't know. I cannot give it up. But I also had to let go of the trauma I experienced. So I'm just trying to move my emotional PTSD and everything through this, navigating it through hopefully a different perspective, a different mindset, a different approach that puts less pressure on me, that allows me to not give up on ever getting justice for my dad in Canada here. And it won't be for my dad. I've ever given that up, but maybe getting the power of attorney laws changed, maybe getting some laws changed. Anyways, I don't want to ramble too much, but let's talk about Jack and Lilly, because y'all, have you heard the latest? Because I was right. I was right. What I told the RCMP about my vision. Right. I spoke to them 3 times, to the detective. I don't think he's a detective. I think he's a corporal. I spoke to him 3 times, and I said that I felt Daniel was innocent, that Malaya, I believe, in my opinion, has guilty knowledge, that while she didn't physically remove them from the home and Daniel didn't physically remove them from the home, there is a connection there, that she was running or going or hiding, and that's just come out. Well, I don't know if they did listen to me. That's the point. That's the whole point, Marie, is like, I don't know if they did listen to me. His text, I can read it verbatim. And that's what's hard about it. Like, we took your information, we handed it over, can't give you more than that. So I haven't, Kim, been following it too closely because I just haven't had time trying to unpack. I pulled a hamstring after the move and I was in so much pain. So I stayed in bed for like a week and just trying to figure crap out. Like, I'm closing out this angry cycle with what happened to my dad. I don't know if I'll ever be the same. My feelings, I can't even imagine how Karen Reid feels. Whether you followed the trial or not, I can't even imagine what it would be like. I know. So we're going to go and listen to a few videos. What it would it be like to be accused? It was, and it still remains equally frustrating for me to have 600 emails of evidence of a crime being committed, and the police don't want to touch it because it's an old man with dementia that involves 2 local lawyers, 2 lawyers in Florida, and a judge in Florida who worked at the same firm, and they were all business partners of my dad's, right? And screwed him out of millions. And it's equally frustrating that the powers that be can get away with crimes. Maybe perhaps exactly what happened in Karen Reid's case. It didn't get pinned on me or anybody else other than the IRS sending me a letter saying, like, what's this fraud you're about to commit? Excuse me? I didn't steal his IRS return. My mom did. So, it's been frustrating. I don't think I'll ever get over it. I don't think I'll ever get over the trauma of that, and feeling completely abandoned by the system that's supposed to be protecting you. Like, no lawyers, no justice, no police care, no, like nobody gives a rat's ass. And I don't know that I will ever overcome that. So yeah, so I'm not gonna try to push myself to do what I don't want to do. Bottom line is, it's not your fault, sweetie. I'm just, you know, I think that's what brought me here, and I think that's why I'm going to be here to stay. And if I'm meant to write, then maybe I'll write true crime fiction stories. I don't really know yet. I just know um that injustice like this is a lifelong pain, you know? I don't want to cry. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. Like, I'm still financially FUCK'd as a result of what my mother did to my dad, you know? How do you care for an elderly man with dementia who's attacking you, taking axes at you, having psychotic, delusional episodes in COVID, with illegal liens on houses you can't sell, having to get restraining orders, and I'm supposed to work through that with court orders to drive from Canada to Florida in 10 days, like, and no place to put him in a retirement home. Like, yeah, anyways, I will never get back my daughter, who has worked overtime for 4 years to pay my bills while we were stuck in Florida trying to keep his houses from going into, they were in foreclosure notice because of what my mom did. Anyway. Oh, yeah. If you knew what I went through at the time, wow. There's no doubt I have PTSD, which is the 911 call that I made when my dad had an axe to my bedroom door. I was about probably 5 seconds away from being axed when the police got there. So, yeah, it's pretty traumatic. It's very, very traumatic. And so probably some of my confusion is my own stress and trauma. And the only thing I think that Chat GTP was good for was like, well, when you have PTSD, you can't make decisions. You know, it's really hard to make decisions. Yeah, Corinne, you want to know how that happened? The good old Dementia Society, okay? He's got dementia. We're stuck with these court orders to get these houses sold in the middle of the pandemic. And he's a lawyer. So, and he was really hard to diagnose. And they said they had to take twice as much time to diagnose him because he's super intelligent, and being a lawyer and a good one, he knew how to, get around the questioning. And we get this court order, and he's in the hospital because he attacked me. He attacked me multiple times. The first time we had to go to, I called 911. Police took him to the ER room, and the doctor there released him, claiming he's 74 years old or 73 years old, whatever he was at the age at the time. He can't hurt you. My dad's like 300 pounds and solid muscle, like a sumo wrestler. Okay. He can't hurt you. OMG. And anyways, I said, I'm not coming back under the advice of a friend, a very good friend I've known for a long time, whose daughter had mental health issues. And she said, if you don't leave, he will never get hospitalized and get the diagnosis and that he needs. You need to leave him. And I was like, it was devastating. I'm driving up to her cabin. If you've heard me talk about the cabin, that's the cabin. And I'm like, police are calling me. You have to come back. I'm like, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. It's not safe. If you don't do something, he's going to kill me. Okay. And so that was after the axe attempt in Florida. So that was before. We got the court order, and he's now in the hospital. They started a fire because he put a hanger in the microwave with his clothes on it to dry because it was COVID. We weren't allowed to bring him any clothes. So he had one pair of clothes in the hospital, and he wanted to wash them. And he started a fire, and the hospital started threatening me with $30,000 a year bills, if you can imagine, or $30,000 a month bills, which is not legal. And I get this court order to get back to Florida. So we have to get my dad, who has dementia, who's now being kicked out of the hospital, to Florida because I got a court order to get there in 10 days while he was in the hospital. We get it all organized. They're going to follow him on Air Canada. It's the only airline that has somebody that will watch him. And doctors, customs forms, he has dementia, don't ask him questions. He's not going to be able to answer. No. The customs people don't like his answers. It doesn't make sense. Where did you not get the word dementia on the form? Like, what part of that did you not understand? Of course, his answers aren't going to make sense. So they detained him and he missed his flight. Okay. So now my daughters and I are up in the middle of the night and he's in the airport and they don't know where he is. They've lost him because Air Canada, he's not got on that flight. There is no another Air Canada flight that night and they don't know where he is. The guy you have no idea. You have no idea what I've been through. By the time he finally gets to Florida, the hospital forgot to release him with his antipsychotics. So he starts getting more aggressive. I had called them. I said, you forgot to send his risperidone. They're like, oh, just use trazodone. I'm like, that doesn't quite seem like the same equivalent. Oh, no, it'll be fine. Okay. So he's on the phone with the Dementia Society and he wants to talk to the lawyer that screwed him out of the money. And I'm like, no, Dad, you cannot call that lawyer. He's not understanding it, right? It's the dementia. And the Dementia Society, she says, how's your dad doing? He said, he really is upset right now. He's trying to talk to the lawyer that screwed him out of all the money. I'm trying to, don't forget, I'm getting threats. I've got to get restraining orders. I don't want these people talking to him. And she empowers him that he must fight for his rights. Okay. He gets off the phone with her. I'm in the bedroom in his house in Florida and doesn't an axe start pounding the door down in my dad's hands. Yeah, that was the Dementia Society help. Yeah. You see this Dementia Society? Yeah. That's what they did. Yeah. So you have the PTSD, you have no idea. You have no idea. There were hookers at my dad's house, okay? Massage women that were taking advantage of him. Oh, yeah. They were threatening me. They had guns. They had a lot of things. They knew the alarm code, the gate code, the house keys. It was a wild ride. So, yeah, not quite Karen Reid's story, but I will never, ever be over it because of the trauma. So, I'm not giving up true crime. How I deliver it will be a little bit different. Okay. Because right now I'm feeling, if I can be totally honest, I'm going to be totally honest and transparent with you. I have lost faith in my guides. I'm angry with my guides. I cry. So I kind of shut them down. Yeah. So I'm not feeling comfortable teaching anything right now because I'm still in pain, as you can see. And I've lost a lot of hope in my guides and my guidance. And so trying to figure out a way to find faith and hope again. And I felt, as part of the wanting to do Dear Libby. Sorry, guys, I don't even know why this is coming out. Because I'm trying to find a hope again in a system that is really effing fucking cruel. Nobody gave a rat's ass about my dad and I. Not a legal aid could be found. There is no legal aid for people with dementia. Go figure. And I had to live it vicariously through my dad. And it makes me cry for elders because elders don't have a voice, you know? Oh, So, thanks, Chris. So anyway, I'm processing a lot myself. I'm trying to let go of I think I've let go of the anger, but I don't know that I'll ever forget or release the pain of feeling abandoned by the FBI, the RCMP, who I reported from the United States to. I also reported it to the FBI, to the Ottawa Police, the OPP, to the Attorney General of Canada. And while we know there was a crime committed, there's lawyers and judges involved. And, it's international. So it's an old man with dementia. It's not Pete Diddy. So we don't really care. Is basically the answer. And it's really hard to get over that. It's like saying your dad is invaluable as a person in society. Probably Ren. I don't know. So that's why if I can ever get this channel up and running where I can survive off the income, which is my main goal, then we'll go with Dear Libby and I'll do the I Ching. I have the book here. In fact, so interesting because I channeled Wayne Dyer. When this all started several years ago, Wayne Dyer came in and he said to let it go. There would never be justice. And I've told you all this before. And I was like stubborn about it, very hard to swallow, And my dad has pneumonia right now. His health has declined in the seniors home, Anyway, it's I don't even remember what I was gonna say. It's been a ride. It's been a ride, and it took 5 years of my life, and we'll never get it back, Chris, I'm sorry your dad was a nurse. You know that already, but I work with geriatrics. All my patients have dementia. Awful disease. I was really sorry. Yeah, Chris, thank you, sweetie. He has 2 types of dementia: alcohol-induced dementia and frontal lobe. And yeah, so I love my dad. Yes, he was abusive and alcoholic, and he was, but he was the only loving parent I ever had. So, gotta tell you about my mom. My mom lived 10 minutes away from where I lived, y'all. When that apartment that I was just in, like the house that I was just in, and now I've moved to this apartment where I just left from. Well, I still have to get out of completely. My mom's 10 minutes down the road. You have no idea how much restraint it's taken me from driving over there. Oh, and in the mess of all this, I haven't told you the detective's text. I pray for a miracle, and I get a realtor that I know who tried to hire me for many years, sending me a text. Hey, Leanne, I found some land that your dad still owns. What? I found some land that your dad still owns. This went on for 2 days. 7 pieces of land she sends me, and they're worth about 500,000 to 600,000 each. And then she sends me, and so I'm all like, oh my God. I look up I'm in the middle of packing and moving. I look up all the separation agreement. There's nothing there in it. Oh my God, could this be the miracle we all need? Like, I need to buy my dad clothes. They were feeding him 2 meals a day. I think I vented to you all about that before. 2 meals each sitting rather, to the point where he gained so much weight, he can't walk, doesn't fit his clothes, and I'm short on money. So it was like, anyway, sends me all that, and then finds out she forgot to look up after 35 years of real estate whether or not they were sold. And then says, well, I've always really liked you. She tried to hire me years ago, maybe you could still come and talk to me. Like, Jillian, you went through all that to try to hire me? What kind of a fucking monster are you? Like, anyway, so I was reminded not to throw the baby out with the bathwater, like I've said to other people. There's good and there's evil in every industry, true crime. So I'm just going to try to stay in the good lanes, stay out of the trauma stuff, and speak my truth and open it up more to just tarot, because again, it's just too limiting. And I just am angry spiritually. Not gonna lie, I'm angry because my daughter had to go back off mat leave. Everybody in my family is so stressed out and burnt out from the financial burden of this, because don't forget, we had stuck in Florida. I lost my income trying to get homes sold, paying the mortgages on all those homes to keep them from going to my mom. So because then she would have got, you know, she got half anyways out of it, but should have got all of it, which was the whole point with these illegal liens. And so it's been a 4-year financial, and it just seems so unfair that my family and I have this burden over some illegal activity from judges and lawyers, and my mother, who the law just decides that they're just going to get away with it. It's been a very difficult burden financially, emotionally, traumatically, physically, and everything. So enough ranting. So it's just been a lot. So I thank you for all being here, and I apologize for all my up and downs. You've been walking through my traumatic journey as you witnessed the ups and downs with me. Well, Ren, let me tell you about my mom. I wrote a chapter in a book called Rebel Rising. You could pull it up on Amazon. If anybody wants the chapter, I think I can get. It's not the official chapter. Anyways, so interesting that I write about this chapter at the time that I wasn't talking to my family. Anyway, my mom was a narcissist, didn't hold me, didn't breastfeed me, didn't want me, resented me my entire life. And it was very narcissistic, but always blamed everything on my dad. He was an alcoholic. So anyway, doesn't matter all the background story, but I'm finally being told by therapists, no, you have to be free of this. This is most people that are gaslit and scapegoated in their families. There's a very high level of suicide. And then don't forget, I had neglect and abandonment emotionally and everything from infancy. So I had all those compounding issues. And my therapist said, it's a bloody miracle you are not in like a psych ward, because, and I've had a lot of hard moments because of what you experienced at early childhood, infancy, the neglect, the not being allowed to be held, all that stuff is extremely fundamentally traumatic forever, as you grow. And so it took a lot of therapy to get up the courage to say, I'm not the person that's fucked up. I'm not the person that's responsible for the family stuff. And that's what happens. I learned that and it's highly, it's more like, it's often in an alcoholic family. It's very not common, or not uncommon rather, that alcoholics families find a person to blame, to scapegoat. And I was it. I didn't even know what this was. I'd never heard about it before. It was told to me by the therapist. And that you are the glue that holds the dysfunction together, so they don't have to look at themselves. They don't have to look in the mirror. They blame you for everything. And they tell everybody, Leanne's the problem, Leanne's the this, Leanne's the that. Well, fuck yeah. I mean, I started a forest fire at 6 years old, not intentionally, but I was acting out in ways like that because I'd seen my mom my dad throw my mom down the stairs and beat her to a pulp, blood covered, naked cement stairs. I had concussions when I was 9. I was held. I wasn't allowed to be loved. I wasn't allowed to talk. I had no voice. It was my fault. Everything. And so it took a long time to get the courage to walk away. So to answer that question, God, it was 6-7 years ago, Ren, when I had the courage to go to therapy, and she actually she came to therapy, and this was at the time, I guess her and my dad were probably almost separating, but I didn't know because I'd lost connection with all of them. And she says to the therapist, well, do I have to make things work with my daughter? And he says, no. I'm so upset with him. I'm like, Ed, like, he's been my therapist for so long. He helped me through so many issues. And I realized it's because when the narcissist knows they've lost control of you, they walk away. And that's what she did. My sorry, I'm going to blow my nose. Hang on one second. Just 1 second. So after this, we're going to get back on it. But so I realized she lost control of me. My oldest daughter, when she was abusing me at one point in years through text, I was really depressed. And she was like coming at me, you're like really mean. And I showed my daughter, my oldest daughter, the nurse. And she stood up for me, my oldest daughter. And that was about 10 or so years ago. And my mother never invited her to anything ever again after she stood up for me. Not once. So my younger daughter was bullied in high school, had a lot of health issues, and she tried to manipulate her. She manipulated her so badly that she had the one that just had Rory. She had an appendix attack at my mom's house, and my mom convinced her not to even let me know. It was my uncle that said, "Do you realize Brianna's being rushed into surgery?" I'm like, "No." That's how manipulative my mother was, okay? And this is the daughter that cried, like broke down crying last week because I was not going to be living down the road from her anymore. She slept with me until she was 12. Like she and I have just been, I'm close with both my daughters, but for her to not tell me she was going into surgery was the work of a master manipulator, right? So she's very cunning. And yeah, so I'm not so sure if that realtor who lives close to my mother wasn't trying to get information from my mother or if she was just trying to hire me. But anyway, so let's get back in because I lost some people here with all this. So it's why I connect so strongly when I feel. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, sweetie. I very, very much appreciate that. No, Ren. So they never got divorced. They're still not divorced. She stole all his money. And when he was being placed into a home, I had his power of attorney and he was in the hospital and everything. And they legally, to cover their butts, had to make sure my mom didn't want to have power of attorney. I was livid. I'm like, if you let her know where he is, I'm gonna sue your ass. I had to get a lawyer involved. They literally called my mom after knowing she took all his money because they said legally, that's how fucked up the law is. They had to make sure that she didn't want anything to do with him for power of attorney anymore. And she didn't, of course. She had wanted, of course, that was for his well-being, his power of attorney for his well-being. No, she wanted nothing to do with him because she stole everything. There was nothing, right? So they are not divorced. So if she passes before he does, he gets everything. He's got nothing left to give to her. So I shouldn't say it, but I'm not going to say it's not nice, but karma's a bitch. That's all I have to say. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You have no idea. I have no idea. So anyways, let's get at it. That's why I am so passionate about neglected children who go missing, because I feel the neglect, Katie, Sebastian, Jack and Lilly. Let's talk about Jack and Lilly because, man, I said some things that are now coming true. So let me pull up these links that are coming true. Oh, and I forgot to read to you the detective's text. Let me just read you. I said, good morning. This was June 11th. Good morning, Corporal. Do you know of this area I pinned? Has it been searched? Do you know if the area I pinned has been searched? Trying to determine if I should continue to work on the case. Thank you, Leanne McKinley. He said, hello, Leanne. That was at 10:01 a.m. on June 11th. He responded back June 11th at 12:03 p.m. I don't want to give away his number, but just so you can see that I'm not lying. I have provided the GPS coordinates you sent to the search coordinator. I can't provide any specific information about the investigation now as it is ongoing. I will update you when it's possible for me to do so. Sorry, I can't say anything else. So I don't know if they actually searched the area. It was passed on to them. And I also don't think they're still there, you know? So I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. That's why tarot is right now. I'm just kind of like, eh. Anyways, let's get at it. I'm going to show you, what have you guys heard? Have you heard all the newest? This is very, very concerning for me. We're going to talk about who had motives, mean, and opportunity here. But this is the biological dad's mother. And this, her language is concerning. Her language is concerning. And I don't know. I want to listen to it again. There's something that feels off to me about her having decided that these kids are not alive anymore. There's also something about the fact that her son just walked away out of their life. I don't know. I don't want to be insensitive, but women, why do you think you are justified to come on and give an opinion? You basically walked out of these kids' lives. I don't know. Maybe that's too harsh. But hey, Krista, are you saying thank you? I don't know what you're saying thank you to, sweetie. Maybe that's just too harsh. Hey, Donna, sweetie, thank you for being here, sweetie. Thanks the mods, Kitty and Whispering Winds, please. I just don't understand who can ever justify, unless he was having mental health problems. And Chris is also a mod, lovely Chris. Don't want to forget Chris. So say hi to the mods, thank the mods. I just don't get it. Let's listen. Tell me what you think. I don't get it.
These babies are gone. My heart tells me that. I am the grandmother of Lily and Jack. I am the grandmother on the biological father's side. My son is Cody Sullivan. He's not in jail. He's never been out west. He does not have a criminal record. And right now he's living with me. He has been for 9 months.
How did you find out that Lily and Jack were missing?
The mama of my grandson called me. We were in town.
Something's going on there.
She asked if I heard the news. She sent me the article that was on Facebook showing the kids missing. I couldn't call Malaya yet, so I waited till we got home. And I called, well, I didn't call her, I texted her.
Okay, hang on. What did she say?
She asked if I heard his biological father's side. My son is Cody Sullivan. He's not in jail. He's never been out west. He does not have a criminal record. And right now he's living with me. He has been for 9 months.
How did you find out that Lily and Jack were missing?
The mama of my grandson called me. We were in town.
The mom of my grandson. See, I don't think that's Malaya. I don't think that's Malaya, because I think that's a different grandson, which is interesting because there is some relative involved here, in my opinion.
She asked if I heard the news. She sent me the article that was on Facebook showing the kids missing. I couldn't call Malaya yet, so I waited till we got home. And I called, well, I didn't call her, I texted her. And
okay, I'm not going to say that I don't think this woman has a right. I don't want it to sound like obviously these are her grandchildren. I just don't understand anybody walking away from their grandchildren's life, and it doesn't appear like they fought to see them.
She told me that,
It's just
yes,
weird
that
for me.
the kids were missing, that they've been missing since this morning. I was in a state of panic, shock. But in the back of my mind, I kept saying, well, they'll find them. I mean, I'm assuming that they'd find them. So I told her, well, we'll head out first thing in the morning and help with the search. It was around between 3 and 3:30 in the morning. A couple of cop cars pull into the driveway. The lights wake me up that I'm a fairly light sleeper, so I see the cars pull in, so I knew what it was. So they come inside. They only stood in the kitchen. They wanted me to wake Cody up, and they wanted to know when was the last time he had seen the kids, and that they were just making sure that the kids weren't here. And then they left. So we showed up Saturday morning, me and my sister, and we met up with my daughter, and we started, well, I asked Malaya, Malaya, I said, you know your kids. Nobody knows their kids like their mom. Where do your kids normally go to play out in the yard? What direction do they usually like to explore? And she said, well, they always play up in the little woods right on the side. I said, well, okay. I said, we'll start from that point and we'll work our way out. We had spoken to a search and rescue, and we weren't allowed on the other side because that's where they were searching at the time. So we just started combing through the woods up through there. We were gone for a couple of hours. I'm yelling for Lily and Jack. We always call Jack Jackie Boy. And yeah, that went on for a few hours, but those woods, I started to feel that I can't see them being in the woods. There's trees everywhere. You literally have to climb over trees, climb under bushes.
Yeah. And that is the point that I made. And I don't for the life of me understand why the police were so long looking out back with this notion that they were out back. I think they missed something very early on here. They took a big misstep. I mean, I guess they missed something because those kids were never found out back, and they were swearing they were about back. And so yes, where did it go? Whispering Winds. Yeah, I heard. We're going to listen to that. That Daniel was in Dolly's chat. I heard that. I said all along, that's the other thing, y'all. I said I did not feel that he was guilty. And I know most of everybody else's channels thought he looked guilty. The deception detective still thinks he's guilty. I just don't feel it. I don't feel it. And yeah, but Tracy, she says in this that she feels she didn't fight for it. She says as she goes on that she probably didn't fight for it. I think the mom took the yes. So Donna, Whispering Winds, sorry, sweetie. I told the RCMP that my vision and my sense was that somebody was walking and watching from the back, but they came in from the back, but that the kids walked out the front and down the pathway of that the clearing at the along the road, but not on the road near the edge of their property. And so it's very interesting to hear some of these things coming up now that I told the RCMP way back.
It's really,
couple
really
weeks
sick.
back.
We come back out and I went in to see Malaya again. I assumed she was in shock. She was very non-emotional, very just flat, monotone. But Malaya's very soft-spoken anyway. That she's not usually excitable. I thought
the other thing
that made her a really great mom. She was an excellent mom. She never raised her.
So she was an excellent mom. So this is where my eyebrows raise a little bit. Because she's talking in past tense. So unless she has information about Malaya being ready to be arrested, which we've heard she's on the run, it's just an odd, it's just, I don't know. It's an odd.
Her voice at the kids, that it was always, now Lily, what did mommy say? And I used to think, now if anybody's meant to be a mom, it was her. A part of me still feels that.
Why only a part of you still feels that? What do you mean?
After seeing the place, seeing the condition of the home, it was like the total opposite of what I knew of Malaya. She was always clean, very clean about herself, about the kids, about her home. This home looked more like a camp. Now, I don't know if it's from all the people that were there because I didn't show up till the day after, but it was very unkempt. I was pretty surprised.
I love you.
Lily is, she was my little dream girl, that's the first granddaughter. And I love that she had the brown hair and she had a space.
She had. Listen to the past tense. So, does Bio Dad's mom, the woman we're watching, know something we don't know? Because Malaya and Daniel think they were kidnapped. I told the RCMP I think they're alive. We haven't determined they're dead. We have no evidence to support they're deceased. Why does Bio Dad's mom talk in a past tense? Daniel said Malaya took the kids' birth certificate, stuffed animals, and 2 sweaters of Daniel's. When, honey? When? I also said that there was problems in the relationship, which also came out before any of this. Do y'all remember? We're going to listen to that in a second. Let's just finish this clip and then I'll go through some
between her teeth,
chats.
which I had when I was a kid. So yeah, she was our little princess. Jack was.
She was like. I have problems with this. I have problems with this.
Over serious little baby. That he didn't like to smile. You could.
I mean, Seth Rogers has not ever claimed his son is in past tense a year and a half later. And she's talking 6 weeks later in past tense. I know, Tracy. I understand. I think they're still, I've told the RCMP that. I think they're still alive. I think they were. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure she's a nice lady. I'm sure, I don't know. I just don't feel, I don't understand this past tense. It's something is not right for me here.
And he would look at you ever so serious, like he was really studying you.
And so how long were your son and Malaya together?
3.5 years.
So then why go on TV and why do the interview? I know, Tracy, but I didn't say that. I can't speak for any other reader. I said I thought they might have been deceased at one point, yes, but then I was also being screwed up with Sebastian. And so the police, RCMP, as far as I'm concerned, and I went back and verified that and found that was wrong. They are alive. And I told them I think they're alive. I still think they're alive. I think to clear her son. Okay, so then where's her son there? I don't know. Is this a good image? Is this a good image to come on camera, to clear your son, who doesn't have the balls to be on camera himself, who has zero interest in these kids, and you start to speak about them in past tense like you know they're dead. You've told us that. You think something's happened to them and you're referring them into past tense. Does she just want all the eyes on her? Is she looking for the attention? Because to me, I would have preferred she just stayed out of it. I think her son looks worse now. Just me. Because before we were all just speculating. Now we know he's just a douchebag who walked away from his kid's life. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Like, there's no comments about him fighting for custody. He basically just gave up when she wanted sole custody. Why did she want sole custody? There's a whole other question. What was the reason for it? What is this guy, her son, really all about? You know, I don't know.
I think it was, yeah. I thought they were the picture perfect family. Then Malaya started to tell me that they were having problems and she wasn't happy. She told me that she wasn't happy and she thinks she's going to leave. And I told her that we supported whatever she decides, that one good parent is way better than 2 broken ones.
And then how did that change your relationship with Lily and Jack?
I thought it was going to change, but it didn't. Yeah, it didn't change. Malaya, she was a sweetheart. Anytime we wanted to see the kids, she'd come by for a visit. She'd bring them by all the time. It was actually really, really good.
So when was the last time you saw the children?
A year and a half, almost. Really, it's about a year and 9 months.
How did you deal with that?
Really, to be honest, maybe I didn't deal good enough with it. I looked at the fact that when her and my son separated, my son walked away. He chose to walk away.
There.
That she wanted sole custody.
He chose to walk away. How does that make your son look good? I'm sorry. I don't. There's just, no. I can't. Oh, so yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird.
Custody of the kids.
Sad for Jack and
So she
Lilly.
petitioned the court
Sad for Jack and Lilly that they just chose to walk away.
for sole custody, and when she did that, he said he was done.
Were you ever
Thank
formally
you,
questioned?
Krista.
Yes.
So then it's about a month after
Do the
Lily and
YouTube
Jack
things,
are last
everybody.
seen that they come and formally question you.
So it's about 3 weeks. They questioned Cody for an hour and a half in the vehicle, and then they questioned me for 2 hours in the vehicle.
How did that feel to you?
I didn't mind. I mean, to me, I expected I'm the grandmother, so it wasn't a surprise to me. I'm assuming the sooner.
This is also weird. Why in the vehicle? Did they not let them into their house? Like, I have talked to the police many times. I've been involved with bank robberies I've told you about, where I wasn't the robber, I was the teller robbed. I mean, I've reported a car being hijacked in front of my home. I've seen a hit and run. I mean, the shit with my dad and the abuse as a child and the whole shit with my mom. Let me tell you, I've talked to the police a lot, enough to know they don't question you in your fucking car. Sorry, they just don't. What is with that? Why did they not let them in their home? I know I'm sounding suspicious, but because I am. Because something is weird here. Why are you trying to save your son's reputation when nobody really knew who he was for a fact? If I was trying to hide, I'd let people think I was someone else. I don't know.
They do all that. I wish they would have done it sooner.
I don't know.
The sooner they can move on.
And they should have been
So I
interviewing
didn't
them
have a
sooner.
problem. My son was a little upset about it. He said,
and I was reluctant to come on and be negative with the RCMP because I've been communicating with them. And I don't know if they're watching the channel. I have no idea what they're doing or what they're watching. But I am critical at this point of them because they took 3 weeks to question in the car the bio dad and this woman, bio dad's mom, the grandparents, who just walked away from the kid's life 3 years ago. The whole thing is bizarro. Like, it's just sad. Sad, sad, sad. And I hope they're doing better now. I hope the RCMP are doing better now. And I'm going to ask Kelly Snyder. I was going to email him earlier if he'll come on and talk to us about the Amber Alerts. And these laws need to change. These laws about whether we Amber Alert, whether we don't Amber, there's a missing child, okay? Period. Amber Alert, Amber Alert, Amber Alert. What does it have to qualify? If they had have taken it more seriously at the beginning instead of assuming they were out back, I don't know, but 3 weeks to interview them seems off to me. What about you? It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Do you all know about the other little girl that was found? Clara Bow. She was just found just outside of where I live. 4 days. They found her. She was missing 4 days. Did y'all hear that story? They found her. I am 2 hours away from Montreal in Ottawa. I'm on the Quebec side now, but I'm just over the bridge into Ottawa. Okay. And she was found 150 kilometers from her house. They searched a 5-kilometer radius. Okay. Let that sink in. And they were reporting it as a wide search area. Really? We just found a 3-year-old who walked 100, or found rather, 150 kilometers from her home. How far did she walk? I guess that's sort of up to debate. So probably shouldn't say that she walked, but she was lost for 4 days. And she was 150 kilometers from her home. So I don't think a search that started at 5 something that night, when they were reported missing at 8 or 10, it's still up for debate in the morning. That's a 7-hour lead at a minimum, even if they did walk away. You don't think they could have gotten 5 kilometers in 7 hours? I don't know. I have a lot of questions about this case. I think the RCMP, bungled it badly from the beginning. Oh, y'all, so interesting. Just so you know how bad Canada is, okay? I finally make the decision, because as I started to say and was all over the place, I fell into true crime because I lost my job through all this with my dad and thought, oh, I'll do true crime. I've always been a junkie. I read Nancy Drew as a kid and whatever, true crime. And so there's a difference between falling into it and deciding to stay in it. So I finally decide I'm staying in it. This is it. Like, this can't have happened to me with my dad for nothing. There's got to be a higher power meaning for this to have happened in my life. And I go to get a Facebook page this morning. You have to have a personal page for MMO, for Motive Means and Opportunity, so I can join the Facebook communities that are so popular when there's missing kids. I get an email, okay, from Facebook. No explanation. You have been permanently banned from Facebook. Permanently. No fucking answer. No, no explanation. Nothing. Nada. Welcome to Canada. Welcome to Canada. They probably know there's a true crime, like all the meta and all that. I don't know. But permanently banned from Facebook. Welcome to Canada. Can't even create an account. Wild. So anyways, listen to this and then we're going to listen to the next one. I want to see what was said on Dolly. I want to
They made him feel like he did something wrong, and he said he hadn't seen the kids in 3 years. So he was a little upset about it. That he said that they really come at him hard. They wanted to know what her favorite color was, and he said they were babies when I seen them last. He said she was just learning what she wanted to figure out to eat. I don't know what her color is. So yeah, he was pretty upset.
Have they ever talked to him again since then?
A couple of days ago, They had contact, and they told him that they weren't looking his way anymore. That everything.
Yes. So here's my Facebook. And they asked me for information, and then it said, "Oh, it went automatically to a review. Like, you're going to be we're submitting a review." I'm like, I didn't ask for a review. I'm asking to set up an account. Your review was unsuccessful. Hi, Leanne, your Facebook account has been permanently disabled. You request a new review of the decision, but we still found that your account or activity on it did not follow community standards. You cannot request another review. I'm just trying to open an account. Jesus. Y'all, welcome to Canada.
Things fine.
And have they ever given you any information?
No, it's always the same thing.
Which is what?
They've got everybody on it. They are looking at all avenues. They can't divulge any information that could compromise their investigation. It's the exact same words.
Why are you so sure they're not in the woods?
I have children. I have grandchildren. And I see what kids are like through the woods. There's no reason for any child to wander deep into the woods. There's just not. I think somebody hurt these kids. I think somebody hurt them.
You don't sound very hopeful.
No. Our last day searching on Monday and seeing the woods and seeing the searchers and everybody everywhere. Mm-hmm. There's no way those kids are in the woods. There is nothing more pure and innocent than a 6 and a 4-year-old. And they deserve so much better than what they got.
They sure do, Granny. They sure do. Yeah, so funny how that also came up initially in one of my readings. That there, remember I said it was Uncle Larry? Wonder what the lawyer's name is. Uncle Larry was taking them to the barn. Let's watch the next one. Uncle Larry was taking them to the barn. OP or RCMP rather officer says, was it, do you think it was a real barn? I'm like, I don't know, but I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. So this is was played. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm wondering about that too, but here's the thing I'm wondering, okay? I told the RCMP that I think Daniel's mom is dangerous. She's left the property too now. Apparently Daniel's there by himself. And so go back to what we just heard from Bio Dad. Why did he choose to walk away? Were they threatened? Were they also afraid of Daniel's mom? I'm just putting some thoughts out there. Okay. Why is Daniel's mom, why did she take off and leave Daniel alone? Isn't this her home, this trailer? She will. They can go on the reserve, and they will. Absolutely. And they will if they think that she's there. So I'm not sure. They've also put up $150,000 reward, which I have never seen done in Canada. So that's interesting. But listen to this, because this is, I think, a relative. This is
those kids are alive, and that's a big if, because it's been a long time, but I still believe there's a very good chance there.
Mm-hmm.
If those kids are still alive, and if they're where I think they are, if you to the god idiots that are still holding on to those kids, I want to say this: if you panic, we're zeroing in on you, and
okay, it's really important we listen to this, because I picked up on this exact situation that he's now going to tell us. This just came out, 2 weeks ago I said it. This just came out. So this, to me, is interesting. So listen to this. I don't know who this guy is. Does anybody know who he is? Apparently it's a crime and shame. They actually did follow me, crime and shame. So if you're watching out there, hello. You think which lady's sweet, sweetie? Hi, Brave Angel. Hey, how are you, sweetie? Who do you think is sweet? Oh, no way. 250? Anyways, I'm not fully moved in yet. I told my girlfriend I was the one that knows that I work as a psychic medium and has seen a lot of weird stuff that I've done. Did she feel like she lives in Truro, which is 45 minutes away? Wow, that's crazy. That I might be going to Truro. If I can, I just don't know. Hey, read your comments, sweetie. Okay, let me go up. If I can get the gas money, and if Sharon, like, I don't know that she want me to stay at her property. I know that sounds weird, even though we've been friends for a very long time. She's just never, like, when she's been in town, she always stays at an Airbnb. So I have to see if she's comfortable with me hanging out, couch surfing, because that's the only way I'll be able to do it. But if she's okay with it, once I'm settled and out, maybe next week, I might go to Truro. Thank you for that, Donna. Okay, Chris, I'm looking. Can you repin it? Jeez. I know. I'm gonna go. I gotta go, and we're gonna go and listen to it a little bit here. I'm just, Chris, I can't find what you've wrote, honey. I don't know if it's a glitch, and I don't know if it's a glitch with YouTube's. Oh, Hey, if I make an MMO account for you from there. I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking of asking my children or just doing like first name, last name. I don't know if it's because I'm in Quebec now and it's pinned to new location. Like if they just assume I'm like, I don't know, like not legit. I have no idea. I don't know. But let's talk about that in a little bit. It's not like super high priority, but it's just when I was doing just tarot, I didn't want the information, right? Like I didn't want the information, but now I'm going to just I'll probably do tarot for members only and do more conversational stuff. Then now I want access to that stuff, but so I'll figure it out later. But her just made an account with a different name. Okay, thanks. So bizarre. Her mom dumped her and said she would be back. Interesting. Well, so let's listen to this because I want to listen to this and I'm going to try not to cut it too many times. Let's listen. This is really interesting.
If you to the god idiots that are still holding on to those kids, I want to say this: if you panic, we're zeroing in on you, and you know it. The last couple of days, they know we're zeroing in on them. And if you panic and hurt those kids, thinking that you're going to hurt them and get rid of them and not get nailed, you're wrong. Because we're already very close to having you. Bring those kids to the light of day.
After Jack and Lilly Sullivan's relative, Darewood O'Grady, came forward with claims that their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, orchestrated their removal from the home, stepfather Daniel Martel has revealed that Malaya has fled her mother's house and is now on the run, with Jack and Lilly presumed to be alive. Darewood, from Malaya's side of the family, but connected to Daniel through work, spoke to Sonny Austin and Charmaine Swart on It's a Crime and Shame YouTube channel, first appearing on Dolly Vision's platform. Spinning a tale that's got tongues wagging. He's adamant Malaya handed the kids off.
Do you remember? I told the police this. Somebody knows something that is connected with Daniel through work. Is it this guy? Like, was I picking up this energy of this guy who's maybe not involved? I don't know.
Off to someone on the property's edge, a theory backed by Daniel's Facebook chat with A Crime and Shame, where he noted the kid's scent, tracked by dogs, vanished at the end of the driveway. Darewood's pushing this angle.
So what's more strange is that nothing has been found in the woods. It's bizarre. Dogs went to the road and lost scent. What the HELL? That's first why I thought maybe they went out to catch the school bus at the wrong time. These are texts from Daniel himself,
hoping to jumpstart the stalled case, though he's skeptical of the Mounties' ability to follow through, despite reporting it to them. The day after the kids went missing, Malaya, her baby Meadow, and her mother, Cindy Murray, hightailed it to Wentworth. Malaya's mother, Cindy, then told reporters that the RCMP barred them from media chats, but a CBC reporter said that just wasn't true. They were only warned to mind what they shared to the media. The relative, Darewood, figures that Malaya caught wind he was onto her, and that caused her to fled to the Sipicanactic Reserve, taking Meadow with her and fleeing her mother, Cindy Murray's house in Wentworth. So he figures that maybe she went there to snag a lawyer for cover as this case is heating up.
And then I believe the person that eavesdropped on me, I intentionally let them eavesdrop on me. Mm-hmm. And then I believe they directly called Malaya, and within a half an hour, Malaya had panicked and grabbed the baby, grabbed Meadow, and took off from Cindy's place, which is her mother's place in Wentworth.
Right.
And that's where she's been staying under 24-hour supervision by CPS. But anyway, she fought with her mother. Her mother tried to keep her there physically and couldn't keep her there. And Malaya had what I was told by the other family members who called me back right away, and that she had grabbed the baby and ran and headed for the reserve in Shubenacadie. Why she would head for the reserve, I don't know. And I don't know for sure if that's where the chief of the Micmac Reserve, it's his brother that's her lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Chief's brother is her lawyer. Well, that's a really good reason that she would go. I know. Oh, brave angel. That's hilarious. Yeah, it's so bizarre for sure. Bio grandma that gave off icky vibes to me. Yeah, which one though, Chris? Are you talking about? See, Daniel's mom's never come public. She's the one that gives me icky vibes. Never I just, when I tap into her energy, I get really bad vibes. And I said that, but I also said there was a connection through Daniel's work or the family business or something through Daniel's family. And I just also find it interesting to learn that Daniel's mother has fled her own property. Make that make sense.
And the only thing I can think of in that so what I don't know, I'll say I don't know. What I know, I know. Now I don't know exactly why she ran for the reserve, but the only connection I can think of is that her lawyer's there. Maybe she thinks she can get some kind of I don't know, legal protection or whatever, because I think she realizes that the jig is up. And I think she realized that I knew more than I made an educated guess, and I think I was right, and it made her panic.
Daniel's been vocal about Malaya's mental state, saying the chatter is messing with her head, especially with Meadow in the mix. Belinda Gray, paternal grandma to Jack and Lily's biological dad, hasn't seen Malaya since Meadow's birth 6 months ago, fueling talk of postpartum struggles. Darewood on It's a Crime and Shame suggested Malaya might be at risk of self-deleting. So before the kids vanished, Malaya and Daniel were butting heads, and she was spilling her beefs about him to the family, which
this is also accurate. Y'all, did I say I told the police that Malaya was going to leave Daniel before this happened? That's the energy I picked up. And now we're hearing, according to what's been reported on It's a Crime and Shame, that yes, I was right. They were having problems before this happened. Let's repeat that. Rewind and repeat.
Malaya might be at risk of self-deleting. So before the kids vanished, Malaya and Daniel were butting heads, and she was spilling her beefs about him to the family, which Darewood thinks pushed her to get Jack and Lilly out.
What I think happened, what I'm pretty sure happened, is Malaya, they had a few arguments, they had a bad stretch for a while.
Right.
And Malaya was complaining to some members of the family. And she lost her temper or lost her.
So yes, and I told the police this, RCMP, that I believe the family business is DRUGS. Yes. That I'm not 100% positive, but that's the vibe I'm getting. And so did the bio dad, the grandmom who we just watched, was he afraid of these people? Was he threatened? Why did he just walk away from their lives? There's more here. I'm telling you, there's more here, in my opinion. This is the cousin. Yeah. No, I know. Let's keep listening.
Her control a little bit, and she was like seriously complaining, saying she wanted out of there and stuff like this, right? And then there was some stuff she said that really wasn't true, but I think she was exaggerating her position. Now,
okay. So who are you hearing? So he's talking about Malaya. There was stuff she was saying that really wasn't true. Really? Are you so sure about that? I'm not saying she's innocent. I just think, and I told the police, I told them my second vision was that Daniel's brother, I think it was his brother, busting through the door. I see the door being slammed open to the left, Malaya standing here in the kitchen, and him bursting in and showing her an invoice. Now, don't forget the way spirit talks is sometimes symbolic. It doesn't necessarily mean a physical invoice, but like she skimmed something off the top and stole and left scared. I think I'm just saying, so far I'm being validated, which is great. Thank you. My guides, I'll give you that. I'm being validated here for things that I've said that are coming out now that I said weeks ago. So I'm going to go with my instinct that bio father and his mother were scared to death of Daniel's family. Okay. I'm saying it. I think bio dad and his mother, maybe not, but bio dad is scared of Daniel's family. And my right ear's ringing. Thank you. Thank you. So there's something going down here. So was Malaya saying things that were true is all I want to say. I think she was. I don't think they believed her, but I think she was saying things that scared the heck out of her, and she wanted out herself long before this happened.
Some members of the family took that seriously, and they decided on their own. To to look into it, right? And she made a bad mistake. There was some people.
Now that sounds like a threat. Okay, that's to me energetically. I'm going to rewind that. That sounds like a threat to me. Now she made a mistake, and I'm saying that because I already picked up and I already told the police that the person involved, this guy that knows so much, Derwood O'Grady, he's a suspect in my opinion. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm not ruling it for 100%, but I also, because I'm being validated, picked up that it was someone that Daniel worked with. And he just told us himself that he works with Daniel. And now I want you to go back and I want you to listen to this. Listen to this, because this sounds like a threat to me.
There and stuff like this, right? And then there was a bad stretch for a while,
Right.
And Malaya was complaining to some members of the family, and she lost her temper or lost her control a little bit, and she was like seriously complaining, saying she wanted out of there and stuff like this, right? And then there was
yeah, she did want out of there. I told the police that
really,
I said it multiple times. She wanted out before these kids disappeared.
It wasn't true, but I think she was exaggerating her position.
No.
Now some members.
Okay, Grady, Derwood, you're on my high radar suspect list. Okay, your nose is growing.
So the family took that seriously, and they decided on their own. They decided on their own to look in.
On their own. I had nothing to do with it. Look at the emphasis on the own. They decided, not on their own. Like, listen to the word choice. They decided on their own. I had nothing to do with it. Oh, I think he might. I'm going to rewind it again.
They had a bad stretch for a while.
Right.
And Malaya was complaining to some members of the family. And she lost her temper or lost her control a little bit, and she was like seriously complaining, saying she wanted out of there and stuff like this, right? And then there was some stuff she said that really wasn't true, but I think she.
Okay, I want to know what side of the family he's on. Is he on Malaya's or Daniel's side?
Was exaggerating her position. Now some members of the family took that seriously.
So she was telling people things, and some people were taking it seriously.
And they decided on their own.
Listen to the emphasis on own. Man, I'd love to have a body analyst listen to that. There's something wrong with this. I think this Derwood might be a little more involved.
They decided on their own to look into it, right? And she made a bad mistake.
Made a bad mistake. And what did I say? I said, and I told the RCMP, those kids were taken to threaten her, to threaten Malaya and scare the effery out of her. I told them that, and I am now very firm on that, listening to this.
Some people involved with her. They made a bad mistake thinking they were doing something good. And before they realized what happened, things blew up so quick. The Mounties moved in so quick with the dogs.
Right.
The searchers and everything started so quick.
Like, he sounds like he is defending. Okay, am I just picking this up myself? He sounds like he's defending the family that did something on their own. Oh, Derwood, I don't know about you, dude. I don't know about you. Just saying. Is anybody else picking up what I'm picking up here? This guy knows too much. His language is off. And Chris, I love you. Don't just say that just because you love me, because you're such a good supporter of mine. But I think there's something so much. Does anybody know which side of the family he's on? This guy knows so much for being just a co-worker of the stepfather of the children. Well, he works with Daniel. He said, yeah. But he also, I heard, was a relative. Is he a relative? Do we know this for sure? But this guy, yeah. You think Marie Curie? Yeah, there's something not right here. This guy's a suspect, in my opinion. In fact, I might pull some cards. Am I crazy? I'll do that in the members. Tomorrow or tonight. I'll do a members only. I'm going to pull cards on Durwood. And if I get a validation, I'm calling the RCMP. I don't like him. I don't feel good about this guy at all.
That by the time they realized, oh, Jesus, what did we do? It was gone too far. They couldn't.
Oh, Jesus, what did we do? I told you. Daniel's mother, in my opinion, ordered somebody to take those kids to threaten Malaya because she found out something. She took something from the family business and she was threatened and she was scared to death. And that's exactly what I told the RCMP. And now this guy is spilling a lot. I just think he might be a little bit more involved. Just don't go spreading rumors and anything outside of this chat. For the love of God, please. Please don't get me banned off YouTube. Do not say anything outside of this chat about your thoughts about him, please, because I don't need being cut down. But I absolutely, he knows a lot. He's very detailed. I don't like his use of their own. I really don't like that. I didn't threaten them. I had no involvement. I don't know, sir.
Back out of it. I'm very sure at this point that Malaya dressed the kids and took them to the roadside and put them in a vehicle. I'm about 80% sure I know who was driving the vehicle. I know who's in the vehicle.
Okay.
And I know who transported the kids. I'm very, very, very close to being 100% on that one. And when I finish finding out for sure, for absolute sure, then I'm gonna be able to find where those kids got delivered. But every indication through everywhere is yes, Malaya knows where they're at. And her bailing today was another large indication to me because I think she was informed very quickly.
Now listen to this.
That I stated a name.
I stated a name. He set her up to see if she would run. He's telling us. He set her up, stating a name to see if she would run with Meadow.
Inquired about a name, and I was eavesdropped on, and I dropped the name because I wanted to be eavesdropped on.
Right.
The person that was
because I wanted to be eavesdropped on. Oh, yeah, because we want to scare the bejesus out of Malaya.
I was very suspicious of being involved. And before I got back home, I got the phone call that Malaya had grabbed the baby, panicked, and took off.
Logan, a cousin, told a TikToker the stepbrother's brother wasn't living in a trailer on the property. Just Jenny, the stepdad's mom, who saw Malaya looking caught right after the kids were likely whisked away.
Well, here's my understanding on Janie. Malaya never thought that Janie was home at the time in the morning, that early in the morning.
Right.
Malaya was on the side of the road, and Janie showed up and surprised Malaya.
She was on the side of the road?
Yep. I believe this
think
is
she
not
was
fact.
terrified of his mom.
I can't prove it.
His mom.
I believe
not
that
him.
Janie just missed the kid transfer. I believe that Janie just missed the kids being put into a vehicle. She didn't know that Janie was home. She never thought Janie was home. So I think her plan was when those kids went down the road, I think Daniel was sleeping. I think she was going to go back in, take the baby, and bail. But you see, Janie was home and got awakened and came out to the side of the road. And that's when you've heard Daniel say that she was kind of stunned on the side of the road and looking guilty when he came out because Janie was already there and that she was looking guilty and that she was playing with her phone.
Yeah.
So I think like Janie sort of caught her.
I don't know, buddy. Did Jamie sort of catch her? To me, okay, I don't know, but it sounds like he's on Daniel's side of the family, or he's at least worked with Daniel, so he's pro Daniel. And I just don't like this guy, y'all.
Intentionally, I didn't know she caught her. She wondered what she was doing out the side of the road that early.
Right.
And from what I understand, the conversation Janie never had much. Janie looked at Malaya and said, "What did you do?" And Malaya just stood there stunned. Now that's what I heard. And then,
Yeah.
now this part of this I can't prove because I wasn't there.
Right.
Dare would reckon.
Okay, this part. You hear that? This part I can't prove because I wasn't there. What part were you there for, sir? Which part were you there for? Were you the guy driving the car? Were you the guy driving the car?
That this was Malaya's shot at a clean break, sending Jack and Lilly off before bolting with Meadow. Jimmy Williams of Dolly Vision screamed in a live stream, quote, "Malaya is on the run with Meadow. Be on the lookout. Talked to Daniel last night. He said he would visit Malaya in prison," end quote. And these are the messages of Daniel Martel's YouTube account in his live stream.
No
Daniel
worries,
says,
buddy.
"Kids are alive. Polygraph exam questions were all on death.
I don't actually mind all cops.
And everyone passed. She has Meadow and is on the run. Malaya is on the run from RCMP. What don't you get? Malaya knows everything. I want Meadow, not Malaya. It's not abduction. That's criminal investigation. It's missing persons case. Yes, she's terrified investigators are close. She couldn't stay around me because she would crack. I would find out." And this apparently linked back to his confirmed YouTube account. The kids are now added to Nova Scotia's rewards program with $150,000 for any solid tips. So, I mean, this case is heating up. So hit subscribe.
Wow, y'all. I mean, I guess I'm just surprised that I was that accurate. I know he's not the uncle that I saw. I don't think he's not the person. However, I got goosebumps because I was just about to say he might have been the one that drove them to the uncle walking them that I saw, Uncle Larry. I don't know if it was his actual name. Yeah, but remember, Krista, how I said that, and I told the RCMP that there was a coworker somehow. No, exactly. I know, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah. You think so, Kitty? Did you think he was stuttering? Hang on, I lost your, you think he was stuttering? I don't know. Okay, let's listen to Dolly's. I want to listen to these because I am, well, let's listen to this first. Let's listen to this first, and then we're going to go to Dolly's. I know the truth. Yes, I bet you do know the truth. And while you are not directly involved, you've got to, Daniel, you've got to start wondering about your mom and or your brother. Why are they not there? Like, where did they go and why? I don't know.
It's been a long 6
hold on.
weeks.
I thought I was sharing. I thought I was sharing.
I know the truth. I didn't kill Lilly and
Why
Jack.
is it not letting me share? Hang on, y'all. This is the most bizarre. Come on, YouTube. Where does it keep going? Hang on. There we go. There we go. I think he does know the truth.
I know the truth.
And he directly,
I didn't kill Lilly and
not,
Jack.
why?
It's been 6 weeks now since you've seen Lilly and Jack. I just want to ask, how are you holding up?
It's been a long 6 weeks. I know that everybody basically in the world at this point is always wanting to know like what happened. It's been from sadness to anger at this point. And I know the RCMP and major crimes are working around the clock trying to piece everything together. And I'm grateful for that. But it always leaves the I know the truth. I didn't kill Lily and Jack.
It's been 6 weeks now since you've seen Lily and Jack. I just want to ask, how are you holding up?
It's been a long 6 weeks. I know that everybody basically in the world at this point is
Yes, sorry. Let me
always
just.
wanting to know like what
There we
happened.
go. Finally, that's
It's
why I wasn't
been
showing. It was on the wrong setting.
from sadness
I
to
think
anger at this
it's
point.
yes.
And I know the RCMP and major crimes are working around the clock trying to piece everything
Yay!
together.
Thank you,
And I'm
Marie
grateful for
Curie.
that. But it always leaves the question, 6 weeks has gone by, and we know at this point they're not in the woods. And where are they?
Did you feel in the beginning that they suspected you?
Of course, the stepfather was always a prime suspect right off the beginning.
You felt that from the beginning,
Yeah,
but you don't feel that now.
no, I don't feel that at all. I asked for the lie detector exam, the polygraph exam. I gave them my phone. I told them do drug tests because there's a lot of rumors online about a drug party. I know the person that said there's rumors, and it was just to take the heat off themselves.
Was there any kind of party?
No,
Was there any kind of gathering that someone
No.
might have thought was a party?
No.
There were no people at the house?
No. Not the night before.
Okay, you mentioned you.
Not the night before. Okay. Not the night before. I said Wednesday night, and I thought the kids went missing early Thursday morning. I don't know. But he said not the night before. That's telling. He didn't just leave it at no. He added.
It's been 6
Gotta
weeks now
go
since
back.
you've seen Lily and Jack. I just want to ask, how are you holding up?
It's been a long 6 weeks. I know that everybody basically in the world at this point is always wanting to know like what happened. It's been
To
from
validate
sadness to
himself,
anger at this
vindicate
point.
himself,
And I know
probably.
the RCMP and major crimes are working around the clock trying to piece everything together, and I'm grateful for that. But it always leaves the question, 6 weeks has gone by, and we know at this point they're not in the woods. And where are they?
Did you feel in the beginning that they suspected you?
Of course, the stepfather was always a prime suspect right off the beginning.
You felt that from the beginning,
Yeah,
but you don't feel that now.
no, I don't feel that at all. I asked for the lie detector exam, the polygraph exam. I gave them my phone. I told them do drug tests because there's a lot of rumors online about a drug party. I know the person that said there's rumors, and it was just to take the heat off themselves.
Was there any kind of party?
No.
Was there any kind of gathering that someone
No.
might have thought was a party?
No.
There were no people at the house?
No. Not the night before.
Okay, you mentioned you offered the...
Not the night before. Okay. Welcome. I think you're a returning member, right, Corinne? Because I think you've been here before. But thank you, honey. Thank you. You think he... And it was a neighbor that reported the party. Why did he say to take off the heat off himself? Yeah, I think Daniel passed the lie detector test because he didn't for sure kill Jack and Lilly. And they were only asked if Jack and Lilly were killed. And I think he even says that in this interview. Let's listen.
To take a polygraph test?
Yeah.
Did the RCMP take you up on that?
Yes, it did.
And how did that unfold?
That unfolded in my favor. They obviously know I wasn't lying about anything.
So they said, yeah, great, thank you, come in
Yeah.
for a polygraph test.
Yeah, it took a little while to set up, and
When did you do that test?
I don't know the exact date, but that would be at least 3 weeks ago, probably.
So roughly 3 weeks after the disappearance.
Yeah.
And I think most Canadians wouldn't have any idea what's involved with that. Can you describe the process? You go in and just tell us right from the start.
Happy
we go
birthday,
in,
Joyful.
sit down in a big comfy
Happy
chair,
belated birthday.
and they have multiple sensory pads. You have them underneath your forearms, you have them underneath your butt, and you have them underneath your feet with your shoes off. You have a sweat gland on one finger. You have a measuring instrument for blood flow that goes in and out of your hand, and you have a cuff on your arm for blood pressure to measure your pulse.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was extremely nervous, especially with the first question they asked you, did you kill Lily and Jack?
That was the first question they asked you?
Yeah. Yeah.
What went through your mind when someone's asking you that question so point blank like that?
Your mind has a massive release of chemicals, I guess you would call them. It's like your stress levels just astronomically through the roof. And
Daniel,
your
are
body
you
doesn't know what to do.
confessing to us right now? I don't know. That's just like, if you're innocent, yeah, it's stressful, but I know I had nothing to hide. So, I just went on with it. What you would think would be the answer, but man, your mind, this is a very interesting
Problem.
description.
Just, it's like your stress levels just astronomically through the roof, and your body doesn't know what to do, because it's not every day the way you're hooked up to machines in an interrogation room where someone asks you questions like that.
What other kinds of questions did they ask you?
All the questions pertain to the death of Lilly and Jack. Are you accessory to the murder of Lilly and Jack? They were all.
So all of the questions assumed that the children are no longer alive.
Yeah.
There were no questions
See?
at all about.
Why would they not ask? What the dang, RCMP? Why would you limit it to them being murdered or dead? Why not ask about, do you know their whereabouts? Were they kidnapped? Do you know who took them? Like, why? Please, I'd like to know why they only asked them about them being dead. They've royally effed this case up. It just, in my opinion. Sorry, not sorry.
Did you take them
I
somewhere?
just
Could they be
this,
somewhere?
This is
No.
like, it just.
The
I'm
police have done a number
speechless
of
here.
polygraph tests. They've done 53 formal interviews. Do you know who these people are?
Yeah.
That's a lot of interviews.
There's a lot of interviews. A lot of them are my family, people who live in the area. And those interviews, typically, my interview was 4 hours. And a lot of the interviews from my family were 1-2 hours. So there's a lot of time taken up, and they ask detailed questions.
Do you know who else actually took a polygraph test?
I mean, I do, but I'm not going to say anything that's going to impede the investigation.
Okay. When did you find out the result of your test?
Immediately right after.
What did they say to you?
You did a good job, you passed.
And how did that feel?
Good.
And did you feel that there was any further suspicion on you after that point, or was that sort of conclusive?
No, that was really when I seen the turning point for it starting to taper off with investigators.
Do you know if Malaya has taken one?
Okay, if this
I
is
don't know if I
their
can say it, but I will
turning
anyway.
point,
Yes, she did take one.
Okay, she took one. Do you know the result?
why did they not ask about kidnapping? For the love of God!
No.
Sorry.
Wouldn't let tell me I asked.
You said you feel like everyone in the world wants to know what happened to Lilly and Jack.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think this is getting so much attention?
Well, just the mysterious and nature of everything and how strange everything is. The RCMP, I mean, they have to keep a tight lip on everything.
I don't think
But
Daniel did it. I don't think
There's a lot
Daniel
more
did
than
it.
ETI with the case.
And I have to be honest with you. I'm saying he knows. I don't know 100% if he knows. Okay, I'm just. I, in my opinion, just my opinion, is of the belief that Daniel's mother is directly responsible, and this guy Gerwit or Derwit or whatever we just heard about is somehow connected. Sorry, Donna. Sorry. Glad you like it, but I'm mad. That's me, Brave Angel. I'm Leanne. So, I'm mad. If I talk to this corporal again, if he'll ever talk to me in a conversation when and if this case gets solved, I want to ask him. I really want to ask him, why would you go through the expense and the time it takes to organize 35 or however many people to get polygraph tests and only ask about a murder? For the love of effing God. I have no words. I can't. If Daniel sees this and he wants to come and talk to me, he is more than welcome. I really don't think he did it. I think if he's not suspicious of his mom and brother, he should be looking that way. And most definitely at this Derwood dude. But all I'm saying is, I'm not shocked now that he passed, because I don't think they're dead. The police obviously thought they walked in the backyard. They got that wrong. Now they think they were murdered, and everybody passed the polygraph. Do you think maybe somebody kidnapped them? That's all that we got left, folks. That's all we got left. RCMP, ding, 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 ding. You got 3 theories. You've effed up the first 2. Are you gonna get to 3? Are you gonna get to the last only plausible explanation left if they all pass their polygraphs over only asking them about murder, for the love of God? I'm appalled right now. I'm appalled right now.
Case.
Is there something that you think the public doesn't know that you can share that you want the public to know?
That's a hard one because I don't want to impede the investigation in any way. It is still a missing persons investigation. It hasn't pivoted to any type of criminal investigation. But
If it's missing persons, why are you asking them about murder and not kidnapping? Just
the
say
kids
it.
were seen the day before. I know a lot of people didn't know that. I still see a lot of stuff online that the kids could have been missing for days. They were out of school for days, and they were seen in the Glasgow area on camera the day before this appearance in the afternoon.
Where was that?
I don't know if I can say that, but it was near
In
the
the
Highland Square Mall.
afternoon.
Was it with you?
Okay.
It was with me, Malaya, and Meadow, and Lilly and Jack were there too.
And are the police aware of that?
The police were aware of that since.
Do they have that video?
Yes, they do.
Okay. So then that means they didn't go early, didn't get taken early in the morning on Thursday. I was wrong about
I also talked
timeline.
to my coworker in the parking lot as well, and he verified that with investigators as well. So for all the speculation, they were gone days ahead of time, or they were seen the afternoon on camera before the disappearance.
That doesn't mean they didn't
Why do you think the
disappear
police
before
are
they were
asking for
reported,
video dating
Daniel. You're
back?
talking about the
Yeah.
afternoon before. We're still talking what was afternoon, 1 o'clock, 12:30, 2 p.m., 3 p.m. There is still a whole day there almost. I mean, how many hours from whatever time in the afternoon, Daniel, till they were reported the next morning is a long time.
Days before that.
Well, the reason for that is they want to see the traffic of the vehicles on the roads in the area, right? Maybe vehicles that were traveling that area a lot over the last few days prior to hand, or vehicles that weren't seen in the area, or vehicles that were seen in the area, like local people that are, you know what I mean, making frequent trips past the house, or which it's all considered evidence. I mean, the more pictures and videos is the better.
They say they have hundreds of hours of video.
Mhm.
Do you know if they found anything on those videos?
I think it was up to 2 weeks ago, they had footage that they examined for evidence that was 8 kilometers diameter out from the house. So that was after a month. That's how long it took to get footage and review it 8 kilometers out. So
But what's on the video?
I don't know. I'm only limited by what they tell me.
How often are they in touch with you?
I'm only
Investigators
limited.
now, I'd say maybe once every 5 days. And usually I'm the one who calls or messages them.
And how's that changed over the course of the 6 weeks?
Well, from the beginning, it was almost daily, tapering off to where
Okay, so why did he tell us that they went 8 kilometers out? Did they find something? I said that to the RCMP, like, I'm glad you're getting tape because I think you're going to find something on the tape of somebody trucking back there prior to this event, trying to find their way on how to get into the back of the property. I don't know if that is accurate or not. I'm just curious after hearing this now.
it's only like once every 5 days now.
And how do you feel about that?
It's good. It's good
I
and
just want to go back
How
and hear
often are
this
they in touch
again.
with you?
examined for evidence. That it's all considered evidence. I mean, the more pictures and videos is the better.
They say they have hundreds of hours of video.
Mhm.
Do you know if they found anything on those videos?
I think it was up to 2 weeks ago, they
I think it was.
had footage that they examined for evidence that was 8 kilometers diameter out from the house.
Okay, so I'm picking up, I don't know. I'm just sensing that they did potentially find something here. Like just the way he said this, just guessing,
So
but
that was after a month. That's how long it took to get footage and review it 8 kilometers out.
But
So
what's on the video?
I don't know. I'm only limited by what they tell me.
How often are they in touch with you?
Investigators now, I'd say maybe once every 5 days. And usually I'm the one who calls or messages them.
And how's that changed over the course of the 6 weeks?
Well, from the beginning, it was almost daily, tapering off to where it's only like once every 5 days now.
And how do you feel about that?
It's good. It's good and bad. I mean, I like to talk to them in person about any little small details I come up with or anything I can try to bring to their attention, which may help investigation. So I don't get to see them often. So it's always over phone or messaging, and it's hard to really convey what you want to say when you're not in person. But then I also know the eye's not on me. The investigators don't see me as part of the disappearance.
How do you know that?
Well, when you're going from daily to tapering off every 5 days, I mean, I already gave them everything on my phone. I'm the one who originally said, here, take my phone. We'll go through all my banking information. We'll go through all my stuff on my GPS from Google.
And you were offering all that up right
Yeah,
from the
I offered
beginning.
everything
And why were you doing that?
to show them that I want to get the investigation moving. I know I have nothing to do with any of it. A lot of speculation is you killed the kids. We'll just come out and say it straight as it is.
What do you think when you read that?
It's a lot of nonsense, obviously. I know the truth. I didn't kill Lily and Jack. And I just think a lot of people online they're seeking drama. That's the main thing. Everybody's allowed their own opinion, like I said before, but
Well, it's like you said before. I think it's natural for the stepfather. And again, I'm not trying to be judgmental, but they don't exactly look like they are got their shit together when you look at their premises. So, naturally he's going to be suspect.
it's
just saying,
hard on the people that were actually there and missing the children. Still haven't got to see any of my kids, including Lily and Jack. And that's been really tough, going from a family of 7, including my other 2 kids that live in Halifax now. Going from a family of 7 in the blink of an eye, your families rip apart and you're left alone.
You're left alone. So where did his mom go? I thought that was her property. That is just bizarre. Does anybody else think that that's like weird? Let me just pull up Dolly's. Let's pull up Dolly's. I'm just gonna pull up. Whoops. Got the wrong one. This Durwood guy. Sorry, of course I clicked on all the links again. It's the last link. Okay, let's listen to Dolly for a few minutes so you can hear. Hang on. What he had to say, because Daniel, this was what he talked about this morning. Daniel came up. He had it in members only. He was going to let it go. This is what Dolly posted this morning based on last night. Daniel showed up in his chat. Why is it doing this again? Hang on. There we go. So I want to just listen to what Dolly says, and then maybe tomorrow, or I don't know if I'm going to be live tomorrow. Once I get my move done, I'm intending on being here every day, hopefully, God willing. So his live where Daniel was actually chatting, he said this morning, was in members until later tonight. So when I come live next time, maybe we'll actually get in that and look and see if we can see the comments that Daniel made in the chat.
Also,
but let's
okay. These videos just so the chat would slow down and we could keep up night. Okay. If you was asleep, night. Okay.
Sorry, I just want to.
What is up, YouTube? Good morning, all my beautiful people. It is good to see you once again. So thank you for everybody that watched my video this morning. It went down last night. Okay. If you was asleep, Dolly did a late night stream. Sometimes you need to stay up to watch them, right? And Daniel, the father of Meadow, which is, Malaya's old man, came into the chat and he dropped some bombs last night. I mean, he told a lot of stuff. And some of you may have heard some of it from my video I went over this morning. Good to see you, Connie. Everybody jumping in chat. Make sure you give the video a like and all that stuff. And at the top, it's pinned up to join the channel. Okay, because when things get crazy and different people come in the room. Last night, we had almost 2,000 people in the room. And the chat was moving so fast that I couldn't see what Daniel was saying.
I think he said,
so I had
like Malaya's daddy, as in like he was referencing him. He's talking about Daniel.
to put it on members, and I had to mod him up just so the chat would slow down and we could keep up with what Daniel was saying, telling us about Malaya. So if you haven't, think about joining up. It's cheaper than a cup of coffee for 30 days. I think it's like $1.99 or $2.99 to become a member. And trust me, you will get your money's worth here on Dolly Vision, okay, by being a member.
Okay, so Brave Angel, I have not listened to this yet or seen it. Just let me know, yes or no. Am I completely off base based on what you've heard from Daniel? What I've said before earlier tonight, if you can.
And we don't do a lot of members only content, but sometimes we have to member up the chat, and you don't want to miss anything. So, you know, that's a good reason to become a member of the channel. Now, I didn't know, had no clue that Daniel was going to come by last night, but I tell you guys all the time that every time I discuss a case.
Hello, Corinne. Did I do the YouTubey things? Did I ever forget? If I did it twice, then that's okay. My apologies. I just saw you over there and realized, oh my God.
The family members somehow find their way here. Okay. And, you know, I put out a lot of videos on Jack and Lilly, and I've been covering it since the very beginning. And I had a feeling that they were watching. And it was just crazy because I was just talking about that. And I was talking directly to Daniel saying, I know you watch, right? And I believe Malaya is watching also. Okay. You know, these videos that I'm doing, some of these videos have 50, 60,000 plays. And if somebody's out there talking to you and that many people are watching, you're going to watch to see what they're saying. So out of the blue last night, unexpectedly, I had planned on talking a little bit about what Malaya's family member said about her being on the run. And Daniel comes in and he tells us that the person that's been calling in is legit, that is somebody he knows. And Malaya is on the run. She's took Meadow and left her mother's house, which this violates the CPS agreement. And Daniel is fearful that they're going to take Malaya. And if they take Malaya, not take Malaya, but take Meadow. I'm sorry, guys. If they take Meadow, he's scared that Malaya may hurt herself. Now, you know, in previous interviews, we heard Daniel say, listen, please leave Malaya alone. It's not good for her mental health or his daughter, Meadow. So to say something like that, then he must know that she has some mental health issues. You know, we've heard everybody speak out. Cousins, Daniel, the biological grandmother on the father's side. He did say that Malaya is scared of the biological father of Jack and Lilly. Okay, so we learned a lot last
Oh my God.
night. And there's still people out there that don't think that was Daniel. So let me explain this.
That the father is scared of, what did he just say?
Which this violates the CPS agreement, and Daniel is fearful that they're going to take Malaya. And if they take Malaya, not take Malaya, but take Meadow. I'm sorry, guys. If they take Meadow, he's scared that Malaya may hurt herself. Now, you know, in previous interviews, we heard Daniel say, listen, please leave Malaya alone. It's not good for her mental health or his daughter, Meadow. So to say something like that, then he must know that she has some mental health issues. You know, we've heard everybody speak out. Cousins, Daniel, the biological grandmother on the father's side. He did say that Malaya is scared of the biological father of Jack and Lilly.
Is okay. I wonder if she's scared of Daniel too, or Daniel's mother.
Okay, so we learned a lot last night. And there's still people out there that don't think that was Daniel. So let me explain this to you how I know it's Daniel. Daniel
Yeah,
has
but
a
I
site
think Malaya
that
is.
we found a while
I
back
think
where he
personally that Malaya is also scared of Daniel's mom.
reviewed Pokemon
Just saying.
cards. And it was created in, I believe, 2012. And some of the videos up there are 5 or 6 years old. When you come into my channel, there's 3 little dots on the side of your name. And I can click on those dots and it gives me an option to make you a mod, to block you, to time you out, or to go to your channel. So when he came in, I'm thinking, hey, it's a troll, right? And somebody's using his name and his icon, and they're just coming in here to stir the pot, right? So when I click on it, it takes me directly to his channel. Now, he didn't want to call in. So he did, he felt like what he was telling us was going to get him in a little bit of trouble with the major crime unit there in
I bet
Canada.
you.
And he had to meet with the CPS today over these visits.
I just had another thought. I don't know if it's true, but I don't know. Like the RCMP have such a good reputation. Is this an anomaly location where they're just not that good? Or did they tell Daniel he passed so he would loosen up like he has been doing? He's showing up on dollies, texting, telling everybody facts that he wasn't saying before because he feels like he's no longer a suspect. Is that a potential strategy so they can see if he starts to loosen up and they can catch something? I don't know. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt because it sure seems like their reputation is better than what has shown us so far in this case. I'm throwing them a bone. I'm just curious.
Visitations with Meadow, and now Malaya's on the run with the kids, so he can't even get visitations with Meadow because Meadow's not to be found. She's off with Malaya. He did say he called her and she answered the phone. Okay. And when she heard his voice, she hung up. And he's definitely, believes that Malaya's mom is controlling a lot of the actions that Malaya is doing. Okay. Now, he believes the mom is the one that is turning away all the media, but the RCMP has came out and said they didn't say they couldn't talk to the media. They just told them to be really careful about what they share with the media. Not that they couldn't talk to the media. Yes, was absolutely Daniel. Yes. So, and I feel like he came in just dropping the bombs. And, I knew he knew more early on when he was saying it, when he was talking to the girls from. Thank you. Thank you so much, Connie. And, I knew he knew more because he was saying, I wish I could tell everything. So I knew he was holding back. And I still believe he's holding back, that he knows more that the RCMP has maybe said to him, and he's not telling it. Now,
Of course.
Now, he did say this, that everybody took lie detector tests. The first question they asked is, did you kill Jack or Lilly? And everybody passed a lie detector test.
They do.
So it leads him to believe that the kids are alive. And he's pretty much saying the same thing that the caller that alleges, I'm going to say alleges, that is, we know that Claire Bell has been found safe. Thank you for sharing, though. That the caller that alleges that they're kin to Malaya.
That is a miracle.
He knows this person.
Claire Bell is an absolute miracle.
And this person.
I wanted to cover that case, but I decided, I might still, but
anyway. Is legit, because there's a lot of questions, because this guy's been calling in saying things for the last couple of days, and we had no way to vet if that caller was actually legitimate or not. But now we know, according to Daniel, it is. And he says he's the cousin of Malaya, and that he don't really trust what's going on in the family right now. He believes there's some effery, I guess I'm going to use that word, and that he was going to stir the pot a little bit yesterday and call us back and tell us. And he did. He called back and he said, look, I don't know if everything's getting to him, and Malaya's scared that the police are closing in on her, but she has took off, and she has took Meadow with her, and it breaks the CPS order of apparently that Malaya can only have Meadow if she's supervised by the mother, and she's done took off from her mother's house. This stuff is heating up really fast, okay? Really fast, and a lot going on. And, you know, we always say it here. What happens in the dark always comes to light. And, you know, me and Daniel he stayed with us for a good few hours. And
well, I wouldn't say always, Dolly, because we're still looking for Summer Wells and Sebastian Rogers and God knows how many other thousands of kids, and regrettably. Toronto says, when I listened to Atlantic News tonight, they announced the reward. I thought for sure there would be lots of people crawling out of the woodwork. You know what? I've never seen rewards work, you know, because the person would have to implicate themselves. Like, unless they happen to, like with the Vance Bolter case, where the woman just called the police because he was on her property. But I mean, if the person that knows they were kidnapped and helped facilitate it or whatever, I mean, I don't know. Could they then be arrested? I don't think it absolves you if you were conspiring and you were involved. So I think the few people that would just happen to know or see something that are innocent are far and few between. And those people don't need a reward. They're just going to call it in anyway. Like, I don't know, you know? Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're right. Anyway.
Until it got really late, till about 3:30 a.m. last night. And he was pretty forthcoming with his answers, even though a lot of us suspect him here. You know, he's still out here trying to clear his name. Now, does he have any knowledge? He says he doesn't, like far as him doing something. He says he's completely innocent of this and that he pretty much suspects Malaya.
So where is his mother? Daniel, if you're watching, you know, you're welcome to message me. Where's your mother and why did she go? Something is wrong there. Like, that is weird. That is weird.
And, you know, of course, Malaya's family suspects him. But he's not the one running. He's not the one not giving interviews. As a matter of fact.
No, but his mom is.
Today he meets with CPS and he's doing more interviews today. Now, you know, like I told Daniel, I said, look, Daniel, it's nothing personal. We suspect everybody. We're true crime. That's what we do. You suspect to us. Everybody's a suspect until we get some answers. And that the internet is full of speculation, right? Because listen, if you leave a blank, we're going to fill in that blank. And it's going to be some crazy stuff. And it's going to be from anything you can think of, especially here, because we got callers and everybody calls in and gives their opinions, you know, that it could be anything. It's nothing personal. We just want answers for the children. And, you know, if he's innocent, right? And I told him, I said, you know, I'll apologize to you. I have no problem. I'm a man. If I'm wrong and you're not as suspicious as I think, and this is all Malaya, then of course I'll apologize to you. But I also told him, I said, if you're guilty of something and they arrest you, I'm going to fly my ass to Canada so I can watch you.
Oh, so it's either, I'm down to two opinions. It's either Daniel's mom, which is my first thought, or Malaya was scared and did manage to get them out of the house, but had somebody else do it. Or somebody on her side of the family. Maybe she didn't know at first. I don't know. But Malaya's, or rather Daniel's mom is I don't think is innocent in this. And this Durwood guy, I think he's connected to her mom. Now, I'd be really curious to see if they're friends because they are the same age.
You go to jail. We just want justice, no matter what that justice is. But if you didn't have nothing to do with it, you need to tell it all. You need to let the world know, because this woman's not doing nothing to protect you. If anything, she's throwing you under the bus, letting you take all the heat, all the media, all the YouTube criticism, while she lives her best life and is not looking for the children. So, and we know Daniel loves Malaya. You know, he kind of skirted around that question. And, you know, because I asked him, I said, can you, you know, if she goes to prison, can you accept that fact? Could you live with that? And he was like, yeah, that he would visit, him and Meadow would visit Malaya in prison. And, you know, that's some loyalty, but you can't, we're talking missing kids here. You got to be honest and truthful and forthcoming with the information as it comes, right? You can't hold back, because every minute matters in a missing kids case. Okay. And it's already been a long time. It's getting scary. But we got people on Malaya's side believing these kids are alive. We got Daniel still having hope that these kids are alive. And, you know, he said there's no abduction. He said that himself last night. And just some of the.
Well, just because he said it doesn't mean it's not so. I thought they were saying they wanted it deemed a kidnapping at the very beginning. There's some flippy floppy going on, isn't there? Is that my hallucination? I'm going to listen to a few more minutes of Dolly, then we're going to call it a night. And then I think
how the story changes.
Hang on a second.
Right? How the story changes. And listen,
I think I'll be on tomorrow night. And then tomorrow night we'll finish this, Dolly, and get on the live and whatever new comes up. But I'm going to do a few more minutes of this just because we're going to two hours here. I don't know anything, Brave Angel, just that what I picked up on my own from her energy. I don't know anything about her.
Here's the thing, guys. The truth, his last text, he'll see her in prison was his last text. Yeah, before he left last night. His last text was him and Meadow would see her in prison. Now it's scary because she has 2 missing kids, and now she's basically on the run with the 3rd kid, and we don't want, of course, Meadow to vanish. And look, we just had this situation where Claire Bell's mom kind of lost her marbles, okay? They found the family dog dead. She drops off Claire Bell on the side of the road and tells her to wait. She'll pick her up. Then she leaves and tells the people, hey, I don't know what happened. I don't know where my daughter is. 3-day manhunt, and the little girl is on the side of the road. We don't want nothing like that to happen. But at this point,
if you missed it, I'm going to do tarot in members only. I hope that'll satisfy the members. And just because right now, I don't want to do it every day.
Malaya is making it really bad on herself. If Daniel and the caller is being truthful, it's looking really bad for Malaya, because even if they didn't suspect Malaya now they're probably thinking, why is this woman running? Why is she taking off with the kid? And at this moment, allegedly, nobody knows where she's at with Meadow. Now everybody's missing. Jack, Lily, Meadow, Malaya. The only person that's there is damn Daniel. I believe everybody done left his house too, because in one of the interviews he said there were 7 of us. Now there's just me.
Yeah, that is. Y'all put a 1 in the chat if you think that is weird. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that is weird. That his mother is the owner of the property apparently, and they all just left. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that is weird. Two, if you don't think it's weird. 2, it could be just too much media. I don't want to be here. If you think that could be an option and you think it's kind of normal that you wouldn't want to stay, put a 2 in the chat. Yeah, Daniel's. That's what I'm saying, Krista. I think Daniel's mom's behind this. That's what I told the RCMP. I think Malaya was afraid of Daniel's mom. And now we're hearing exactly my point. She grew up there. It's her property. And Daniel's saying they all left. Weird? For me, it's weird. Could they just be the media's been bombarding them and so they went elsewhere? I don't know. He doesn't offer any explanation. That is odd as F to me. That is effed up.
And, you know, there's still people saying, hey, keep an eye on them, Dolly. Keep an eye. Listen, everybody's a suspect until there's answers, right? You know, I'm just telling you what he has said. But to me, everybody's a suspect until there's some answers for Jack and Lilly and where these kids are. But I do believe he's being truthful about the situation that's going on with his child and him not being able to see Meadow. Now, I asked him, I said, hey, why can't you see Meadow? And he's saying, and we knew this anyway, before he even had to say it, that he's being accused of things. He didn't go into what they're accusing him of, but he's saying that they're over there lying on him And since they've lied that he has to have supervised visitations with Meadow, that's it, because they're making up things on him. Now, I don't know if that's true or not true or whatever. You have to take it for what it is. You know, you come to your own conclusions if you believe them, if you don't believe them. But you would think with this much infighting and you know, that side of the family pointing the finger, well, they were in the beginning, but now they really ain't said nothing. Malaya's mom ain't said nothing.
So, Brave Angel, you're new here. Tell us why you think it's not weird that mom owns the property and the brother owned the property, and that it's not weird that they left. Why do you think it's not weird that they left? I'm just curious, honey. I'm just curious.
And according to this side of the family, she's the evil, wicked witch that is, you know, interfering in the joint effort to find his kid, because, you know, Daniel has no contact. And the crazy thing is, Daniel said all the way up to 5 minutes into them out there cussing and screaming in the front yard that Malaya was hugging on him, kissing on him, and telling him, hey, I got to go with my mom. I got to go with my mom. And then after she leaves, she just basically ghosts him. And we heard family members of Malaya say, and I'm going to say alleged family member.
I think that was deliberate. I don't think, I think she planned on leaving Daniel.
Because I have no way to really verify him, other than Daniel said he was legit, that Malaya wanted to leave.
Okay. So that's the cousin, Durwood, we're talking about.
And it's into them out there cussing and screaming in the front yard that Malaya was hugging on him, kissing on him, and telling him, hey, I got to go with my mom. I got to go with my mom. And then after she leaves, she just basically ghosts him. And we heard family members of Malaya say, and I'm going to say alleged family member, because I have no way to really verify him, other than Daniel said he was legit, that Malaya wanted to leave probably a week before this. Is this, you know, is this a weird, crazy way of her getting away? And why? What is she?
Is he talking about Durwood? Is Durwood Malaya's cousin? Now that is even more bizarre. Malaya's cousin was working with Daniel. I guess it's a small town. There's probably only a few people that you would work for. The pulp mill's apparently one of the main employers. Bogey says, I think she pretended to in order not to upset him. Yeah. You don't just get up and leave and ghost someone that you didn't have issues with prior than that, when in the middle of your kids going missing.
Scared of.
I don't know.
And why would she hide the kids is the $1 million question, right? And you guys listen to PJ. It says everyone to member up. That is the link if you're on an iPhone, because some.
Fair enough. That's fair enough. Your parents wouldn't want it. That's fair enough. I just think, like, it costs money to stay elsewhere. Yeah, I know they're not, but it's their home. They don't look like they're bothered too much by very many things, and maybe that's judgmental of me. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you, stranger. Glad to see you. Yeah, who knows? You might be right. I heard rumors of that too. You get not his. Interesting. Thank you, Kitty. Yes, thank you. Nice to see you, Lindsay, honey.
Sometimes it don't give you the join button. And that video with his whole conversation is on members only right now. Later to this evening, I'll probably unlock it from members, but join up. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of chaos. And when there's chaos, I start to lock down the chat room so we can control everything, especially when we're trying to ask my questions. And I was trying to tell people to stop chatting in the chat room so we could see what he was saying. And then people are just calling in. They're just chatting away. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad you're taking part, but when something happens like that, you need to let me get my questions out and get the answers to bring you guys the information. He didn't come in here to answer 1,500 people, right?
Okay, we're going to stop this now. There is, I'm at 21 minutes and 30 seconds in. I'll fast forward through Dolly's lecture, and we'll start tomorrow. It's a 55-minute video, so there's another 34 minutes in this video, and then we'll go back and watch the live. No worries, Margie. Oh, I was just about to go out. Okay, I'll stay on for you another few minutes. How's that? Nice to see you. Stay on another few minutes. We'll listen to this a little bit longer then.
So
you're going to have to go and do the replay, honey, because there's some stuff coming out about this case. And I'm just thankful that I was not very off, because I've been feeling uncertain about what I've been getting. I'm not trusting myself at this moment, because I've lost faith in my guides. It's a whole other conversation. But yeah. Yes, exactly. Judgmental is very poor in that area. Well, that's what I'm saying. So my point being, is it hard for them to leave the property and come up with like, are they staying with family? It's not cheap. So yeah, welcome in, Brave Angel. Thank you. Welcome in. So I will do a reading for members only after we drop off here, because tomorrow I'm meeting my daughters at the other place. We still have more to take out, if you can imagine. And I will be on probably live. I'm going to say probably. I'm going to do the best I can to be on live tomorrow night, because we will not go all day. But I'm going to have to drive through traffic. I got somebody picking up furniture I'm selling. Like, it's a whole day's worth. So I'm going to do the best I can. And then we're going to work all through the weekend. So I'm hoping to do live tomorrow nights, because I'll be busy for the weekend. I'm trying to get out of there. We have till the end of the month, but there's other people coming in and they're trying to get in early. So anyway, I'll do the best I can to get on tomorrow night, but I will do tonight, members, or early tomorrow morning, depending on how late we go and how I feel, a tarot on this cousin, because I want to know more about him. I don't know, but we're going to listen. I'll stay on then. We'll listen to the rest of this, and then we'll do Dolly's live tomorrow with Daniel's answers.
if there's a million people asking questions, I'm asking them questions. You know, we need to leave it to me asking the questions. You know, and Sage, you did a good job last night trying to control the chat. It wasn't really much we could do unless we, you know, locked everybody down. And we didn't want to do that. We wanted to keep it, you know, give you a chance to call in and ask questions and stuff like that. But we got to keep it under control a little bit in the future for future references, right? When people come in the room, you got to assist me in seeing what people are saying. If everybody's asking a question for Malaya, I mean, terribly bad. And then he got to wait 2 minutes or a minute and a half to hear it. And then you get a reply. And then you got to find the reply, because by then 50 people or 100 people done commented. So it was a little bit of chaos. But I think he shared a lot. And I'm keeping my eye on everybody until there's answers. But this is really bad, looking really bad for Malaya. I mean, terribly bad. And I don't know. I just know I haven't seen very many mothers act like this, right? It's bizarre, because most mothers would be out.
There's a lot of mothers that go to shelters when they're afraid. That's true. You know, they don't know how many shelters would be available out there. But if she is afraid, and she did arrange for them to be taken, and they're at the reservation, then what's she afraid of? You know, is the question.
Searching for their kids, or being on the news and begging for the safe return of their kids.
Maybe
in the line.
That's what I
line saying, "Oh, the police told us not to talk to the media." That is not what the RCMP said. They said, be careful about what you say to the media. And thank you all you guys that have been joining up. And of course, you know, Daniel said he had stopped back by, and plus Malaya's cousin said he'll fill us in as more information comes out on the situation. But he knew early today that Malaya had jumped ship and she's took off with Meadow, and that it violates the CPS.
So that cousin is Durwood, we listened to earlier, who set it up deliberately to see if Malaya would run. What does that tell you? I don't know. Doesn't seem like a person who's trying to get Jack and Lilly found safely. Does it to you? Sounds really strange. In fact, I think I'm going to text Joseph Morris his interview. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, thank you, Shrimp. I think I'm going to text it to the detective in case he hasn't seen it, because I would be looking that guy's way. I absolutely would. Sorry, just my opinion.
Papers. Why would she do this? Because, you know, at this point, she has 2 missing kids and she's not listening to the CPS. They're going to take Meadow. Then she's going to have no kids.
Oh, I probably listen.
So I don't know what type of depression.
I no doubt. I said that earlier as well, sweetie. I think her brother has apparently some issues as well, allegedly.
She suffers from, but I still think right now Daniel's still worried about Malaya because he knows that this is coming and he thinks Malaya will do something to hurt herself. You know, because this is a man that loves his baby's mama and he's really concerned about her. You know, it wasn't like, I won't go visit her in prison. He's like, me and Meadow will go see her in prison. Like, he's not going to give up, or he don't want to give up on Malaya. But we truly know that things, I mean, I can't say never, but the situation with the children has to be figured out first before they're even going to be able to think about working things out in their relationship, if they're ever able to do that. Okay. He has to really, right at this point, look out for himself, because that's what Malaya's doing, you know, and her family's ready to throw him under the bus. KR is still guilty, but where's the babies? Thank you so much for your super chat. That is super nice of you. Welcome on the Dolly train. I'm not going to be here too long with y'all this morning, probably just a few more minutes, but I just wanted to share this stuff with you. And if you want to see the whole conversation, it's on my video. It says Daniel stopped by, and later tonight it'll be off members, but for now it's on members. So I don't know exactly what time I'm going to take it off, but later tonight it'll be off members, so you can see the whole conversation.
So listen, I am going to pause it here and we're going to review that. Dolly took it what way? I mean, just because Durwood said he reported it to the RCMP, I still think there's something that I just saying. I called this guy. I told the RCMP this guy existed, and we just heard from him. So I thank you, Krista, sweetie. I think Durwood knows more. I'm gonna text him. In fact, I'm gonna text him now. Y'all, I'm gonna text him right now while you're here. Okay, so I'm gonna text him. Sorry, I just gotta send the link to my phone. Hold on. I think I sent it to the wrong email. Yay me. Hang on. Yay me. Okay, hang on. No, there it is. Okay. I'm going to why is it not letting me? I am just because I think it's too coincidental that I called this. I told the police everything this man just said. That there was a man who worked with Daniel. I'm texting him now. Not sure if you have seen this. This sounds like what I told you. I think he knows more. Okay, y'all. Sent. Whoops. Let's get it. Not sent. I'll leave it there. I think this guy knows more. Did that work? Nope. I didn't get. The link didn't work. Oh, did the RCMP have some sort of a. The RCMP. Hang on. I guess I should probably send him the right link, eh? It's coming up in their Google Mail because I sent him the wrong link, for the love of. Okay. Wrong link. Will it get ignored? Probably. It's not letting me send a YouTube link. So bizarre. Sorry, y'all. I cannot text him the YouTube link. There, I finally got it. Okay, so weird. Technological issues much? Okay, everybody. So I will see everybody. I just wanted to show you that I sent it. I will, you may be wrong that Delaniel is still in love with Malaya. I did make the comment that he and Metal were visitor. I know. Probably. Hey, Ren, you're back. Would you consider switching gears to Idaho 4? Yes. I'm going to cover, Ren, thank you for asking. I'm going to cover the Idaho 4s. I want to cover the trial. So, yes, we are going to go and we are going to start covering Idaho 4. There's not enough information on Jack and Lilly to do it every night. I'll do it tomorrow. But yes, Ren, and anybody that wants to watch that trial with me, it's not one I don't think I've done anything with. I don't think I've pulled cards. You've been listening. Yeah, so thank you for being here still. So yes, we are going to switch gears. I have to cover more cases. That was the other reason for taking the tarot away. It's too limiting. It's just, so yes, we are going to cover Idaho 4. Anyways, I'll do the best I can tomorrow. It's been here 2.5 hours. Now it's 7:30 Eastern. I'm going to run tonight, probably. I'm going to do a short reading on Durwood. I don't think it's a coincidence that I called all of it before this guy showed up. So I think the guy should be looked at, and we'll see. We'll see. And yes, welcome in, Brave. We have a wonderful community here, so you'll love our community. I think I'm going to see about going to the area and searching and investigating and talking to Daniel to talk to me, see if my guides come in and help me. I'm not going to make any promises, but I'm going to ask my girlfriend, because she lives there, if I can visit. It's a 13-hour drive from where I live. Oh, thank you. Outcast is reviewing the background voices that night. Wanted a psychic's view. Great live tonight. For what, honey? Who is outcast? I'm so out of it. Who is outcast? Oh, Brave Angel, you're so sweet. Who is outcast of the voices? What do you mean? Are you talking about Sebastian, honey, or are we talking about Idaho? I'm just reluctant. And here's the weird thing. Like, my astrology says my psychic gifts are supposed to get better in the fall. And I said to you, I thought my visions were coming back. But right now, I am getting like Jack from my guides. I feel like I've been abandoned by my guides. And I'm feeling lost, if I be honest. Like, I feel like something, like I just feel out of sorts. Like, it's weird. I've also kind of been mad at them. And there's this whole thing. So, he's an audio expert. Oh, interesting. Well, I wonder if he would clean up Sebastian tape. Can you email me, honey, that information? Like his channel information and stuff. And so I've just been, so I don't know. I can't say when I'm going to do spiritual cleanse. I know, sweetie. I've just, I just had my Saturn return. I'm Aries in Vedic astrology, and in Vedic astrology, my Saturn return just hit my North Node, which is major change. And I'm being told to write, and I do want to write, and I'm supposed to be storytelling, and so that's like more podcasting, more documentary style, right? But I don't know. I don't know. Right now, we're here. I'm staying in true crime. I just don't know if I'm going to do another psychic stuff down the road. For now, I'm going to do tarot and members only because I'm just, after everything I've been through with my dad, to be here, like being told that I have to start all over financially. There's no justice. I'm 56. I'm fucking tired. Excuse my language. I'm still pissed about it, just to be honest. And so I'm feeling kind of like, yeah, about it with my guides. But I started to tell you that earlier about the Wayne Dyer, the I Ching. I'm all over the place. Wayne Dyer came to me when this first happened with my dad and told me to read the I Ching and to let go that I'd never get justice. And so it was bought to me by a friend. And thank you, Brave Angel. Yeah, you just get to life where it's like, at this point, I want to enjoy my life, and I'm not living it for anybody but myself. So I want to study the I Ching because Wayne Dyer came in and told me that I needed to study that this wasn't about justice for my dad, that it wouldn't happen, and that I had to let go of that anger. And I was like, yeah, resisting it. And 5 years later, yes, it's true. Okay, thank you, sweetie. Thank you. The only problem with that is, can somebody email me this, or I'll take a picture, because I can't go back and see these after I'm off StreamYard. Yeah, so I just have to take it easy with myself right now, and that's why I'm not trusting. But I thought for sure I was going to get my full-on dreams where I live through the crime. I thought that was coming. Maybe it's coming in the fall. I don't know. But I definitely am being called to write more. I do have a fictional series that I started writing, which is spiritual, but there's some true crime into it, and it's supposed to kick off a true crime series, like a Nancy Drew series, if you will. I read every single Nancy Drew when I was a kid, so that will come. I just don't have the time right now. Priority is this, to get this running to a place where I can pay my bills. And so that's coming. I don't have enough bandwidth to do it all. I know it doesn't work that way, but because it is a spiritual test for me, and that is, I know what it is. It's because because I didn't have my mom, because my mom was such a lunatic. Yes, absolutely. Healing needed. Absolutely. Especially That's exactly it, Brave Angel, because of what I went through with my dad and being called to release the anger. And so, but you know, I still need to heal a little bit from that. And so, thank you. So it's not that I have lost them. It's because my guides have been, since I was a kid in bed in this abusive alcoholic family without being allowed to be held and an unloving mother, I used to talk to these angels, 2 angels, and I would feel them over me in bed every night. And so they have become like, for me, it's like my right arm, you know? And so I think this is my test to learn to trust myself without channeling. And I'm struggling. I'm being honest. I'm struggling. And that's part of my upbringing. When you would say black, my mom would say white. My sister, I'd say white, they'd say black. Like it's, you know, and losing confidence in trusting myself. And then you factor in the PTSD that I've had. Oh, thank you, sweetie. You're so nice. Thank you. That's very, very kind. Thank you. You know what I might do? I might get myself a haircut. I have had 3 haircuts in 5 years because I just have, like, I've always needed the money for something else. So it's hurting my neck now because I get caught in my own hair when I sleep. So, and I should show you the picture, but I had dyed my hair dark blue and I friggin' loved it. So maybe I'll get a haircut and buy a box of blue dye. You could be my twin. Oh, sweetie. Well, I'd like to believe there's a higher purpose for it, you know, and this is it, you know, something to do with true crime, whether I change laws in Canada for the elder who have, by the police's own admission and the Dementia Society's own admission, get defrauded of money by the thousands of them daily in Canada, and yet we have no laws to protect them. And who pays? The taxpayers. Because there's no money for my dad to pay for his long-term care home. His pension is $1,750 a month. The long-term care home, $3,500 or $3,600 a month. Who pays the difference? Taxpayers. I don't have it. You know, you got your pink hair still. Yeah, yeah. My mom too. Ah, sweetie, no way. You and I have a lot in common. Yeah. So, yeah. So, you know, I'd like to pitch, and I was hoping Pierre Poilievre would win in Canada because I know Pierre. I've met Pierre years ago when Pierre was the housing minister. My dad helped Pierre a lot as a municipal lawyer, a land developer, and a municipal lawyer, which is how I met Pierre. And Pierre knows what happened to my dad. I've sent him a message. And I was hoping he would win because I believe he would have tried to look at the laws and done something, knowing my dad. Yeah. Oh, Brave Angel, you Canadian too, sweetie? Yeah, absolutely. And so and that's probably why, you know, I will never get justice. Like, this isn't, you know, it's the powers that be. And the Attorney General of Canada, I fought with them, and the police told me the same thing. It's not that we don't know a crime wasn't committed. It's that because of the current government, the Liberal government's laws, there's a 1% chance we get it convicted. Oh, sweetie, I'm in Ottawa. Well, I just moved to Gatineau, cheaper. But yeah, so there's that. But anyway, so I am going to not give up. Melanie Little really inspired me, and this Karen Reed trial really inspired me to not give up. Yeah. I know. I know. I know. I got a call yesterday for my dad has pneumonia, so pray for my dad because he has pneumonia. And yes, I'm done for the night. Everybody have a great night. Okay, love and light. I hope to be here tomorrow, and I'm going to run and do a members reading on Durwood. Okay, love and light. See you soon. Hopefully tomorrow.